everybody, and welcome to the WildWeiler Weekly Wrap. As always, I am WildWeiler. I owe you all an apology. This video is coming out a day later than it normally does because I just wasn't feeling good the day I normally record this, and so I decided to take the day off. Not a big deal, but it does mean this is coming out a day later than it normally does, and you'll be seeing it live on Tuesday as opposed to our normal Monday. So for those of you that were looking forward to it, I do apologize, but I'm not at a place right now where I can just always be guaranteed that I have time to do these. I do have, other obligations in my life, namely that big one that we all have where we need income to afford food and shelter. So that that just really took it out of me this week. And on that, I just haven't been feeling good this week. Not in a COVID way, because I know that that's what everybody's mind jumps to. I've been dealing with eye strain problems pretty seriously for a while now, which sucks because all of my hobbies involve sitting in front of a computer for large amounts of time. But there was a silver lining. I took some time to myself and tried to avoid sitting in front of a screen for as much as possible this past week. So I got outside. Despite it being cold and stupid, I managed to get outside and take some pictures. So number one, I will address what you're all thinking about is, did I take pictures of birds? And the answer is sort of. And what I mean by that is, here is the one bird I found. And this is the one picture of it I have that isn't a blurry mess. And it is so far away. And this is the best picture of this bird I could get. This is the only bird I could find that was remotely photographable. So there you go. I think it's a Cooper's hawk, if my memory is serving correct. But the problem is fledgling hawks have a lot of sort of white and brown on them. So if this is more of a juvenile than an adult, it could be a couple of different things because I'm not the best with hawks. They're like a mid-sized bird, and my specialties are very like tiny birds because tiny birds are adorable, or big birds, and there's not really an in-between. Anyways, so yeah, I got outside and I was taking pictures of things really close up because I got a set of macro extension tubes. And I know the sort of photography gearheads are going to be like, oh, doesn't the picture get blurry in the corners? And honestly, at my skill level, not really noticing problems caused by equipment. My blurriness issues are fully caused by Dr. Shaky Hands or, just general novice stuff, or bumping up the ISO to where everything gets noisy. I'm still learning. Anyways, let's look at some close-up pictures. So number one, here's a close-up picture I took of a painting that was gifted to me by a friend. I just wanted to see what does it look like close up, and the answer is it looks like a cracked painting. Like, it's kind of cool. I wish I could compose this better, but the thing with paintings is they're meant to be taken in all at once. So when you do macro photography on them, you can't really tell a full story, but I think the colors came out really good on this one, and that's why I like it. And then I drove around town and I looked at some old buildings, and here's a picture of some curling paint that I found on a windowsill. I don't know. I liked it. I've got it back on the computer, and I don't know. It's not quite what I was going for. I was really looking for textures and whatnot. I was hoping to find some pot marked rust and things like that. And I was just struggling to really find what I wanted. This is what I found. So, and then finally, here's a picture of some bricks. Like, these are bricks that have interesting sort of striations on them. So here's like a break in those striations. Just another thing I found interesting while I was out and about, and hopefully you'll find it interesting too. And that was really it for photography outside. Inside, I managed to go to a greenhouse and saw some flowers. So first off, I will say, oops, forgot to read the placards for these while I was taking pictures. So, my bad. I'm sorry. So here's a flower. And this is probably one of my better pictures of the whole day. It worked out really well. It came out really well, which was hard because there were people in front of me and behind me, and people. Okay, I get photographers can be annoying in cramped spaces. Nobody bothered me about that, which was good. The problem I had is, there were so many people going through this greenhouse with their dogs Like, it's in the middle of a park. I get that. You're at the park with your dog, but they don't let photographers in with tripods because the tripod takes up space. But your dog on a leash clotheslining people takes up more space than my tripod does, which is to say, dogs shouldn't be in the greenhouse. At this particular greenhouse, there's very fragile old plants, and if somebody's dog like runs through the desert cactus section rather than follows the path, you could really damage some of these really nice, 6-foot cactuses with your leash because they're those. I don't have any pictures of them, and I apologize. And I'll get done with this rant soon, I promise. But there's a couple of 6-foot tall cactuses that are maybe only 3 inches in diameter. Like they're very delicate, and a dog clotheslining them with its leash is potentially more dangerous and more likely to happen than me bumping it with a tripod. Not that I think I should be allowed in there with a tripod. I think the point of a greenhouse like this is the plant safety first and foremost, so that they're available to the public. Here's the other one that I must have 50 photos of these flowers. I couldn't get it. Like there's something here and I couldn't find it. So this is one of those photos that when I take it, I'm like, ooh, in 2 years, I'm going to take another photo like this and see how far I've come. So I'm really excited about this photo because there's something here and I just couldn't quite get it the way I wanted to. Anyways, so after that, I rather than stare at a screen, I finished a book. I finished reading His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik, and I can finally say I recommend it. I think it's really good. It's really fun. It's very easy to read. It's super accessible, for me, anyways. I thought that. There are more dragons than boats. I really thought it would be 50-ish, 50-ish, because it's about naval captain becoming a dragon rider. So I thought there'd be a little bit more boats. I cried twice, which for me is amazing. But yeah, and I cannot wait to get into the second one. So if you're looking for a book, especially if you're looking for a book that's a nice, easy, light read, and honestly isn't so complicated that you have to worry about finishing it relatively quickly, because I thought I was going to take an entire month to read this. His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik. You can't go wrong. I can't start to read the second one in the series because it's a series, and I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. It's old enough to where all the books are super cheap too. You can buy them for like $1 or $2 on Amazon. Finally, I, like millions of others, play Final Fantasy 14. And I was in the casino. And for those of you that play the game, you know the casino. In the casino, I was buying some scratch tickets or whatever, and this other gunbreaker, I play a Bakode gunbreaker right now, comes running up. And that's when I see it perfectly. This image. It's in my head. And I make it. And yeah, and then I turned it into a meme. So there you go. I found it amusing. You Final Fantasy 14 players will understand. And that's it for this week. Thank you all for watching the weekly wrap. Coming up on the channel, we have episode 6 of the Freedom Fighters Let's Play. That will launch Wednesday, so tomorrow if you're watching this video live. And as always, have a lovely week. Bye.